Yo, 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 it's your boy Ron Flip the Jump, man, and I'm back with another video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, y'all, Ron Flip the Jumpman Movies, and today we're talking about that brand new sci-fi mystery, that mystery thriller, Disclosure Day. Hey, yo. Did Steven Spielberg just drop one of the craziest alien movies of the decade? Or was this movie all hype? Y'all get in the comments and let me know what you think if you already seen it already. We breaking down everything. What worked, what didn't work, the best scenes, the acting, the visuals, the ending explained, even the beginning explained, and if this movie is actually worth your time and your moolah, your money. If you love alien movies, UFO conspiracies, mystery thrillers, and mind-bending endings, you definitely gonna want to see. And you definitely gonna want to stay locked in for this one, because I'm gonna give it to you. Pause. So drop your rating in the comments below. Did Disclosure Day live up to the hype or not? And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell for more future movie reviews on Ron Flip the Jumpman Movies on my YouTube channel. So let's get into it. So what worked? It had strong mystery and conspiracy vibes all through it around the UFO disclosure. It was an emotional sci-fi storytelling mixed up with a lot of suspense. It had big cinematic Spielberg's feeling with tension and atmosphere all through the movie. Solid performances, you know what I'm saying, from the lead cast, especially from all the emotional moments. So what may have not worked or what didn't work? Sometimes, and a lot of times throughout the whole movie, it felt like the pacing was real slow in a lot of parts, which, you know, it was a build-up. Leave you on your edge of your seat waiting for something big to happen or something major to happen. Certain mysteries stayed unanswered by the ending. Some might felt like that the story had plot holes and uneven momentum through it. So what were some of the big scenes? The live broadcast, the disclosure moment, that was definitely a big scene. The alien encounter reveal sequences that happened more than once, maybe a couple of times, you know what I'm saying? Some of the videos that they showed that was classified files, and at the end when they encounter the tall gray, stuff like that. The tense conspiracy chase scenes throughout the whole movie, you know what I'm saying, when they were trying to chase the guy that stole the classified files and hard drives. The final communication scene with the alien message, that was a big scene. Now let's talk about the acting. Now Emily Blunt, she delivers, you know what I'm saying, emotionally weight and intensity, while Josh O'Connor, he brings a more like grounded conspiracy thriller energy through the movie, you know what I'm saying. Coleman Domingo and Colin Firth, they add on strong supporting performances, you know what I'm saying. Let's talk about the CGI, the visuals, you know what I'm saying. The visuals lean more toward realistic suspense and mystery than a non-stop CGI explosions in some movies, you know what I'm saying, and like other movies. Spielberg reportedly focused on, you know, more practical effects and grounded environments to make the alien story feel more believable, you know what I'm saying. So it wasn't really too much of the unbelievable stuff added in there. You know what I'm saying? I guess he was trying to give it a more believable feel. That's why the film looked the way it looked. Now, spoiler alert, the ending explained. You know what I'm saying? At the end, humanity finally gets proof we are not alone, which a lot of us been through that. The aliens leaves a mysterious final message that appeared to mean, listen, leaving the viewers and the fans and everybody in their seats questioning whether humanity is ready for the truth, unity, in contact with something bigger than ourselves. So Spielberg, he intentionally, you know what I'm saying, leaves parts of the ending opening for interpretation. You know what I'm saying? Leave y'all wondering and guessing. Yeah. Let's talk about these post-credit scenes. You know what I'm saying? No major post-credit scene has been reported, but once the movie ends, that's pretty much the finale message. You know what I'm saying? Spielberg wants viewers to basically sit with, you know, in the very first live broadcast at the beginning of Disclosure Day, when Margaret, when she suddenly shifts during that weather segment that y'all see on the trailer. If you haven't seen the movie, where she be like, all that clicking noise, you know what I'm saying? That coded message that she was basically giving out through a live broadcast. You know what I'm saying? That was the first coded message she transmit. You know what I'm saying? And it was meant to be said that it meant don't be afraid of what you don't know. That was the message that it was trying to give to, you know, the masses of people. You know what I'm saying? So the message first appears disguised as like a fragmented weather data and strange symbols, audio distortion during the broadcast before online communities in the movie began decoding it. Vortex. These were the people who were chasing around Margaret and her partner, basically her brother or whatever, you know, to try to regather these classified files that he had stole. But Vortex, they immediately recognize it as a non-human communication and starts monitoring Margaret. So the phrases become important later because it mirrors the ending message, which was listen. So it creates a full circle moment in the story. Don't be afraid of what you don't know and listen. So the aliens weren't just arriving. They had already been observing humanity. You know what I'm saying? And it also was said that they had said that we are listening too. So there's also a hidden layer that was caught. Some noticed the coded signal flashes briefly in the binary and waveform patterns during the station's glitch, hinting the broadcast wasn't random, but an intentional first contact signal. That opening scene is kind of easy to miss because it happens fast and gets buried under the chaos of all the newsrooms chaos that's going on. But let's talk about the elephant in the room on Disclosure Day. The movie really didn't disclose anything that hasn't been talked about in the so-called conspiracy community or by witnesses that have had these experiences or people who have seen these videos on certain social media platforms where these certain platforms be exposed and stuff. A lot of us already know about and heard of these great aliens that they show in the Disclosure movie, the tall and the short skinny ones with the big beady black eyes. But the movie didn't disclose any other extraterrestrial beings You know what I'm saying? Like the reptilians, the Nordics, the tall blondes and tall whites, the Anunnaki, the Palladians, the lizard people of the inner earth, underwater alien bases, ocean beings, and even the beings they witnessed and talked about and seen that stepped off ships that looked like so-called black people of the Americas, the original beings, the indigenous people of the entire planet, if you want to be really technical and realistic about this shit. So they look like us. You know what I'm saying? The ones that actually look like us. I'm not talking about the ones that look like us but not us. I'm not talking about those ones, but those are other extraterrestrials too. And most of the footage they showed was already seen a lot of these for ourselves. Like I said, on social media poems, it shows a lot of this footage that people have recorded. Now it might have been some very confidential footage that we didn't see, but for the majority of what we seen in the movie, we seen it. But a lot of this footage, a lot of people recorded it, and we knew about the torture videos and the videos of other extraterrestrials working together with our shadow government, like how they showed in the movie, like how some of the Greys were like walking into a meeting with some of the government people, or whatever the case may be. So the movie also showed an ancient artifact that can manipulate a person's mind and body at the same goddamn time, and remote view through a person at the same time, like a 3-in-1, you know what I'm saying, thing. And they show it like in the movie how like our shadow government have a lot of artifacts that they keep for themselves to weaponize towards us. You know what I'm saying? So basically like MK Ultra, mind control and remote view. You know what I'm saying? Movies show how some people can be sleepers, ready at any given time to control, to do things chaotic for the government, for their own wicked, demonic agenda, causing chaos. And why would our government, let's talk about this, and why would our government and so-called elites, so-called powers that be, would disclose any real truth that would shatter their own ideology and weapon that they created towards the masses of people? And what I'm talking about, I know some of y'all gonna get mad. Y'all religious people, you know what I'm saying? So if they really disclose any truth of that, it'll shatter their ideology on religion. You know what I'm saying? By exposing other life forms when it goes against what they wrote, basically, what they didn't wrote, but you know what I'm saying, what they did was they altered ancient information from our ancestors, you know what I'm saying, that they manipulated to control the sheep people through the masses, which is the masses of people. Gave the world esoteric knowledge, altered information. That's basically what it is, which is majority of all your main religions, versus occult exoteric knowledge, which is hidden information, stuff that you gotta go within to get, stuff that you gotta go study, stuff you gotta go research. You know what I'm saying? But if they is disclosing anything, it must mean they have a bigger agenda. And I think that bigger agenda might be for the New World Order, which would be one rulership, one religion. So now they gave you an entity to believe in that you can't see, that you never will meet, that's supposed to be so superior and powerful. This blonde hair, blue eyes, pale face, sitting in the sky, picking and choosing who get to have a big house, who get to be homeless, who get to be rich, who get to be poor, who get to be sick, who get to be healthy, who get to have a car. Man, look, And the words are popping up. God would not bless you with money for you to buy things that he put here for us to have for free. Wake the fuck up. So if they are going to disclose anything, they are going to disclose beings that they are working with. They don't want to see us evolve. They want to keep us more slave, or we gonna go into like a way more slave level of shit. They gonna give, now you can actually see physical beings that don't look like us, that are not, supposedly not from here, and have you worshiping them because they're gonna have the powers. When in all of when actually reality, we're like the fucking He-Man, like the powers of Great Skull. I have the power. But we're not talking about that movie, but you can go check out that review too on my channel, Raw Flippin' Jumpman Movies, Masters of the Universe, because that's us, melanated people. Let's move on. Alright, so let's do a quick review score of Disclosure Day. So, the storyline. I'm gonna say it was like a 8.5 out of 10. The action, wasn't a whole lot of action in the movie, but a lot of chasing. So that's more like a 7.5 out of 10. The acting was good. I'm gonna say it was an 8.8 out of 10. The visuals, it was like normal visuals. It wasn't nothing spectacular, so like an 8.4 out of 10. The nostalgia, basically the remembrance of how Spielberg does his stuff, you know what I'm saying, that give you that remembrance feelings of the sci-fi vibes, was more like a 9 out of 10. Overall, it was an 8.4 out of 10. But y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments below if you've seen it already. But if you haven't seen it, then you come back. I rate from 1 to 5. If 1, if I really don't like it, 5 if I like it, and I'm gonna give this 5 popcorns. Look, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click that bell for more future content on my YouTube channel, Ron Flip the Jumpman Movies. Alright? Peace. I'm out. Wadu. Jumpman. Peace.